Greetings. Today we're going to visit one of my old Atom Awards of the month. This one is from September of 2017. And the subject is photography, cameras. And the reason for that is this is an extremely good example of exponential technology growth. Would you believe that the first photograph was taken as far back as 1826? That was 195 years ago. It was black and white, but that was 195 years ago that the first photograph was taken. Color photography did not become mainstream until much, much later. But even in the first century of photography, meaning from 1826 to 1926, there was very little progress. Relatively few people in the world had their own cameras in 1926. People used to have to get together and go to a professional photographer to get a family photograph taken. And in poorer countries, nothing like this even existed. For example, there is no photograph of my father's mother. She died in the 1950s. She died prematurely, but there's simply no photograph of my father's mother. And that was common for the time in most of the world. But now, as cameras became dematerialized and got converted from low-tech to high-tech, and remember, conversion from low-tech to high-tech occurs when something gets computerized, and therefore it then improves at the rate at which computerization improves. We all remember that well into the 1990s, everyone had a film camera and you had to go and get your film developed, which of course costed more money, but you also had to go to and from the store just to drop off and receive your developed photographs. And you have paper photographs that you put in an album or keep in a shoebox or something like that. Nothing was digitized. But after that, we had digital cameras that people bought and which got photographs onto their computer. And now the camera is part of the phone. And it is so commoditized that when people discard their phone to upgrade to a more advanced phone, the camera usually still works. So people are discarding a functional digital camera that is way better than even the most expensive camera of the 1980s. And sometimes there are a lot of serendipitous snapshots of history that prove this point extremely well. Let's go down to this picture over here. This was the announcement of the new pope in two different instances. In 2005, there was a new pope in the Vatican City, and in 2013, there was also a pope in the Vatican City. In the 2005 unveiling, nobody has a digital camera. You have one person with a flip phone over here. In 2013, the exact same event, in the exact same location, and probably a lot of the same people, look at how many cameras there are. Everyone has a camera of some type to take a photograph or even a video of the announcement and unveiling of a new pope. Just 8 years apart, you have this type of complete diffusion of technology. How different has the world become in such a short time? Every single smartphone now has an advanced camera in it. That means there are at least 4 billion cameras in active use in the world right now. Any event that occurs, there's tons of photographs being taken. This changes everything from crime patterns to footage of unexpected events to everything. And these cameras are so commoditized that people don't mind throwing them out when they upgrade to a new phone. Resolutions continue to improve. The resolutions of photographs continue to get better and better, and the digital storage technologies get better and better, so that a high-resolution photograph takes less and less storage space, even though storage space itself is getting cheaper and cheaper as well. And therefore, now there's footage of anything important that happens in any public space and in many private spaces as well. You no longer have to worry about whether TV cameras are on the scene or not to capture the footage of an incident. Citizens will capture it, and citizens will post it online, and other citizens will post that footage in other places, and it will go viral. So there's no such instance of, well, there shouldn't have been a Zapruder film or anything like that, or thank God there was a Zapruder film so that people could even see what happened. Those concerns are obsolete. But lest you think the ubiquity of high-resolution digital cameras is the end of the story, think again. Remember, the atom is never truly done. Progress continues. It gets cheaper and cheaper, and even though it's below a threshold where the price even matters, there is now another input being collected, which is data. Images and videos are very, very data intensive, as we all know. And all these cameras are now getting a huge amount of data. In fact, there's so much data from all this video footage that a lot of companies don't even know what to do with it. But data is a tremendously valuable raw material. Artificial intelligence trains on data. Combining different types of data enables new insights to be formed. I'm involved in a company that makes a platform to combine all these types of data into one unified and usable space, a usable platform. And a lot of exciting things are happening on that front as well. But all these cameras are input mechanisms into the world of ever accumulating data, and the amount of data that we have at our disposal continues to increase and can be deployed for the upliftment of the human condition, and that is something to be very excited about. So when you think about this from an atom perspective, think of how inevitable it was that there would be this many cameras of high quality available to such a large scale that you get this much data input. And not all data is valuable, remember. A lot of useless video is created as well, but there is so much footage and so many photographs of so many different things that we are just at the very beginning of being able to harness all that data for some productive purpose. So this was an Atom Award of the Month in September of 2017, and I urge you to read this article again because it will be in the description box below. Now, if you like this type of content and these types of concepts, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel, and thank you very much for watching.